Good morning and welcome to Celebrity Secrets. Today my guest is a very famous, well-known mime artist and comedian back in the 1930s. He's probably considered one of the best mime artists and comedians of his time. Would you please welcome Mr. Charlie Chaplin. Hello Mr. Chaplin, good morning.
Good morning to you, Shelley.
Please take a seat. May I call you Charlie?
Of course you may, Shelley.
Charlie, tell me a little about yourself.
Well, Shelley, I was born in London on the 16th of April 1889. My full name is Charles Spencer Chaplin. Both my parents were music hall entertainers, which means they went from theatre to theatre singing and dancing. They were very popular. Unfortunately, they divorced in 1996. My brother Sydney and I lived with our mother, but things were very hard.
Oh dear. We
had no money at all. Sydney and I had to go to a school in London for poor people.
Oh Charlie, that's so sad.
Not really, Shelley, because we had no money at all. My mother had to do her act by herself, and we had no one to look after Sydney and I, so we went with her. That's how I learnt to sing and dance. My first real performance was in 1894 when I was 5.
5?
My poor mother was on stage and she wasn't doing too well. The crowd were booing her and throwing things. She got really badly hurt and had to come off stage.
Oh dear.
So I went on and sang a song. Everybody loved me. They cheered and clapped and I felt great. I knew then that was what I wanted to do. I then went into films and appeared in my first film in London when I was 11. It was called Giddy on Stend. Then when I was 17 I joined a theatre company and went to New York in 1913. In 1913 I signed a contract for a company called Keystone and headed for Hollywood.
I understand you made many films in Hollywood, Charlie.
I certainly did. In that year alone, I made 35 films.
35?
I then decided I wanted to direct and produce films as well as being in them. In 1928, I wrote my first film called The Circus. It was a huge success. I was so pleased.
I bet. You're always so busy, Charlie. No chance for a social life, I bet.
Oh, Shelley, how wrong you are. I've been married a few times, actually. However, I now settled down with my lovely wife, Una, and we now have 8 children.
8?
Yes, 8.
So, did you stay in America?
No. In 1952, I decided to leave America and move to Switzerland. And that's where I stayed with my family. My filmmaking days were over by then. It was time to join my family and have fun. In 1972, I did go back to Hollywood to be given a special award for my achievements in movies, and I was also given an honour of Knight Commander of the British Empire, so I am really Sir Charlie Chaplin.
Wow. Charlie, I just wanted to ask you about your clothes. They look a little bit big on you.
Yes, Shelley, they are a bit too big. I had to play a tramp in one of my films, so I decided to get clothes a tramp would wear, as that was all he could find.
Oh.
I also added a cane and a silly walk. Now that's what everyone remembers me as.
Charlie, could you show us the silly walk?
Of course you may. Of course I will, Shelley.
Oh, that's wonderful, Charlie. Thank you for that. And thank you for coming to talk to me today, Charlie. It has been a pleasure.
The pleasure's been all mine, Shelley. Just before I go, I have a saying I'd like to share with you. A day without laughter is a day wasted.
How true.
Now I am bringing you back to 2008. Charlie Chaplin died of old age, very quietly in his sleep on Christmas Day, 1977, and he is still remembered today as the most famous actor in the silent film time. Thank you for watching.